quite a great lineup here for the whole event here at the 8th and International Symposium. Gentlemen, welcome all of you to the 8th International Symposium for Science Festival 2024 here at the National Science and Technology Fair at Impact Mueang Thong Thani. And of course, welcome all of you here joining here on site at the Phoenix 3 room, as well as those joining us online from the National Science Museum Facebook page. My name is Shawit Uttamashai. I am very much delighted to be your MC for today. Now, what do we have here today? So this whole day session, we will be focusing pretty much in particular on the session called Promoting STEAM and Cultural Education, Learning from Past to Strengthen the Future with Traditional Choice. And the objective of today is to strengthen the capacity of the network among science museum and national centers within this space. With the whole topic session today, we wanted to ensure that we are stimulating all the curators, educators, staff from museums and lifelong learnings to look into STEAM and cultural education and to use local wisdoms from toys from various cultural contexts and how we can preserve that, but also encourage learning for lifelong learning for children, for youth, and elder public at the same time. We will be hearing a lot from different speakers, over 13 speakers today with a range of wealth of experiences. But before we go into the whole session, allow me to give you some housekeepings first. So for those joining here with me on site, may I please also ask everyone please to put their phones on silent mode to avoid disruption. And in case of any emergencies, please do follow the green exit sign behind you. For those joining us here online from Facebook, if you have any questions or comment, please feel free to type in the comments box, and then we will be taking that forward during the Q&A session. So now, enough from my side at the moment. Let's go into the official ceremony. So we'll start off with some opening remarks, and on this occasion, I'd like to invite, please, the President of the National Science Museum Thailand, Associate Professor Dr. Ravin Ravitwong Kapong.
Swadikap. All the speakers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the National Science Museum Thailand, it is my great honor and privilege to welcome you to the 8th International Symposium on Science Festival right here at the National Science and Technology Fair 2024 at Impact Mueang Thong Thani. The theme of this year's Promoting STEAM and Cultural Education, Learning from the Past to Strengthening the Future with Traditional Toys is quite interesting. It is not just a celebration of the fascinating intersection between arts and science, STEM and STEAM, but a testament of the boundless creativity and curiosity that drive human innovation. Toys are more than just entertainment. They are the spark that ignites the imagination, the tools that make abstract concepts tangible, and the bridges that connect the world of wonder to the world of understanding. Many countries have been utilizing their traditional toys to promote STEM education under the play-based learning concept. Moreover, using the traditional toys for young people can encourage them to enjoy their cultural backgrounds and learning STEM stream through playing. Therefore, the National Science Museum Thailand initiates this symposium to explore the different approaches of using traditional toys and local wisdom to promote STEM, and cultural education. As we gather here, we are not only celebrating the toys themselves, but also the powerful learning philosophy and scientific principle that underpin them. We bring together educators, curators, scientists, and innovators from around the globe to explore, discuss, and advance the incredible potential of these seemingly simple yet profoundly impactful creations. We will share the knowledge, experiences, and stories on how such toys and wisdom from different corners of the world can be used to foster the development of our children. We also hope to help preserving the diversity of traditional toys and local wisdom, harmonizing them with the science and technology, as well as creating and strengthening our partnership. I would like to thank everyone who have organized this event and generously donated their time and expertise to make this symposium a reality. Additionally, a special welcome is also extended to all our guest speakers joining us today. We appreciate your willingness to share your knowledge and expertise. And I am confident that everyone here will gain something from your presentation. As we embark on this exciting journey together, I encourage each of you to engage fully, to share your insights, and to embrace the spirit of collaboration that makes events like this so special. Let us celebrate the power of toy, the magic of discovery, the wonder of science, and the endless possibility that STEM brings into our lives. Thank you for being here, and I wish you all an inspiring and enjoyable symposium. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ravivong. And on this occasion, may I kindly ask you to remain on stage for the group photos, please. And to join with the group photo, can I please invite the executive team from the National Science Museum Thailand to join the group photo, as well as all of the speakers presenting today, joining Associate Professor Dr. Ravivong for the group photos, please. colleagues, international friends, please also join us for the group photos, please. Once again, thank you very much to our panelists joining us here for the whole day today, as well as the executive from the National Science Museum of Thailand. As Associate Professor Dr. Ravibon has just mentioned earlier just now, toys is not just about entertainment, but it also helps with learning as well. And we're not here today to just celebrate the toys, but the science behind them. So of course, all of our sessions today will be revolving around using toys as one of the learning tools. So I believe everyone's now ready for the first session. And for our first session today, we will be starting off with a keynote speech on the importance of promoting STEAM and cultural education for all. Now, on this occasion, I'd like to invite our first speaker, which is Dr. Kritsachai Somsaman. So Dr. Kritsachai is the director of CMEO STEM Ed, and he is based in Bangkok. He was initially the deputy director for administration for communication of CMEO Secretariat and has led on digital transformation to handle COVID as well. He brings a lot of experience on arts and science, resulting in a range of media. So over to you, Dr. Mon.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Well, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Nishiman, Chishiman, Ni hao, good morning, Salamat Pagi. I think that pretty much half of the world that I'm saying hello to. Okay, sorry that I cannot speak Arabic. Okay, well, first of all, I would like to thank National Science Museum for inviting me to present with this very interesting audience, with the very interesting topic which are near to my heart on the important meaning of promoting STEM and cultural education for all. Well, before I'm jumping to my presentation, let me tell you that I was just arrived back in Thailand last night from Beijing, China. I'm participating in the conference that called the Global Smart Education Conference, which is very interesting. It's Global Smart Education Conference hosting in China. Well, this is something which very, actually the conference happened for 5 years already. And what is wonderful is China has a great transformation of education, which are very successful. Well, one example that we can see at the Olympic, the past Olympic in Paris, you can see how Chinese athlete has done really well in the performance. Some of them are just like the jumping, of the swimming, that's perfect 10. You can see that. And the swimming athlete also get the very, gold medal with a very fast speed, break the record. That is actually the result of education transform. In the conference, we talk a lot about artificial intelligence. And the very key term that I was surprising, it's they said this word very often, real-time data. The word real-time data, if it's in the industry, it's okay for me. Well, we need to check on the real-time data from all the equipment to see what our equipment is broken, what we need to fix. But for education, when you're saying real-time data for education, what? That means you monitor all the students all the time. You get the real-time data of the student. You can see of the performance of the student in real time. And if you see that any part of the student, any part of the country, any part of the region has performance drop, then the government can jump in too and provide some remedy for those problems that happen. So the key term of data is very significant because data is the foundation of artificial intelligence. With sufficient data, you can do a whole lot of things. And the Olympic this year proved that by analyzing the data, the gesture of the athlete, you can improve the performance significantly. And that what is going to happen to education. So now, your student, your kids will be monitoring all the time to get the data, to feed into the government, the central government, and see how you perform in school, in life. Well, okay, I have more story to tell you on that. But right now, quickly to my presentation. So I'm from Symposium STEM Ed. Symposium stands for the Southeast Asian Minister of Education Organization. Well, this is the term of the Minister of Education Organization. We are intergovernmental organization which established by 11 member countries, 10 ASEAN countries, plus Timor-Leste. And we perform as a think tank for Minister of Education of all 11 countries. We helped collaborate with all the 11 countries on education, science, and culture. If you're familiar with this three terms, education, science, and culture, you might think of UNESCO. We are similar to UNESCO, but we are independent organization, not related to UN or ASEAN. We are taking care of the collaboration of education, science, and culture within the region with 11 member countries. And how we do that? Well, Symposium has 26 specialized centers spreading across Southeast Asia. Each center has specialization in certain particular area. In Thailand, we have 6 centers. In Indonesia, we have 7 centers. Brunei Darussalam, 1 center. Philippines, 2 centers. Thailand, we have 6 centers, as I mentioned. We have a different kind of specialization, such as in Malaysia, we have Center for Special Needs, students with special need in Malaysia. And for me, I'm the director of Symposium STEM Ed, which the name of STEM Ed, it's STEM education. So I'm the director of the specialized center of Symposium, which is taking care of STEM education for the region. We have, in Thailand, we already have several centers taking care of several organizations taking care of STEM education in the country. We have NSM, National Science Museum, taking care of the STEM education in Thailand, IPST, and NASDA and STDA. They all taking care of STEM education. But why we have a STEM Ed also? Because we want to collaborate among all organizations which taking care of STEM education within the region. So that's our responsibility. Well, let me tell you one thing, that when we talk about artificial intelligence, what we are seeing is that we see that the world is changing very, very fast. And everything It's not going to be the same. So the method, the approach of education that we have been utilizing during our period, our education period when we were young, is not going to be fit for the new generation because they learn differently, they have a different environment. So how can we teach them, how we can educate the young generation for the future, which we don't know what the future it is. And we were not trained for that particular future. We cannot envision what future will be. The way that we were educated will not fit with the younger generation, which they have a different kind of future. So in June, 2 months ago, we gather all the stakeholders from business, from government, from education sector. We want to understand the perception of the future. What would be the future in the imagination? So we want to see how can we educate the younger generation so they are equipped with capability to proceed with the future, which we don't know yet. So a lot of things that we're looking at space business. Well, we have the president of TICOM to see what happened in the space business, the satellite business. What are the future that they're thinking out? Well, in space business, what happened is the cost of space traveling is reducing significantly. So previously, it's difficult to send people to space, send satellite to space. But right now, what Elon Musk has done with SpaceX, what other companies has done, the reduction of the cost in going to space is reducing significantly, and that means the advancement in space technology is increasing. And we can bring those kind of knowledge back to the Earth and do something differently of what we're doing in our day-to-day living. You might not know that many things has been first initiated using with the space. Our sunglasses that we are using, it was built for astronauts because they need to go to the space and facing a lot of sunlight, and all the different material that we use for our winter coat has been developed for astronauts in the space. And then those kind of technology was brought down to Earth for us to utilize. And in space, you'll know that there are different conditions in the space. Some of the formula that we learn on Earth will be different when we use on space. So those kind of things that we have learned in space, we can bring down to Earth and make a lot of difference on the Earth. And one significant thing, it's on medical business, the development of the medicine on Earth and on the space. We can do much more on the space because without gravity, we can customize our medicine. We can arrange all the structure of the medicine, which we cannot do on Earth. So there will be a lot of progress, a lot of differences in our ecosystem, our environment, than what we are familiar. Also, well, we also have the astronaut, Sam, also our speaker in this session as well. And Sam, look at what would happen, what has been happened in the past, and how we can educate the younger generation to understand about space, about the significance of space. Who else? Well, we have a lot of our experts. Medical robotics, we talk about energy, we talk about cybersecurity, robot and automation, and healthcare. We have experts from all around the world that we would like to understand the perception of the future from their perspective. and what do they need for the future employer? What has came out from the discussion? What is the necessary skill that is all the expert on and all the stakeholder need? It's, oh, I'll tell you later. Let's talk another thing. Okay, well, synchronize, try to aligning the concept that came out from the conference with the PISA exam. If you know PISA exam, PISA is from OECD, and PISA exam not only have the three main topics that they test the student, but PISA also have innovative domain, which is something new that they want to see the development of the kids. And what is inside the innovative domain that PISA has changed every year? It's the expectation of capability of the skill they want the student to have in the next 15 years. So by looking at PISA innovative domain, you can see the future, 15 years in the future. And we can see the history of PISA. In 2012, they look at creative problem-solving skill in the kids. 15 years from 2012, we see that creative problem-solving skill is very important. Next one, collaborative problem-solving. Move beyond creative to collaborative. Once again, 5C coming in. And we need not only creative skill for the kids, we need collaborative skill as well. So PISA, we can see the future. PISA is a fortune teller for us. We can see from that. What's next? 2018, global competence. Wow. Okay, we see that, okay, it reflects reality that we are facing. We need the kids to be global competence. What next? 2012, 22, critical thinking. Recently, PISA test for critical thinking. And Southeast Asia is well below OECD average. And right now we are talking about how we can develop critical thinking for our younger generation. Okay, we see the reflection of what PISA or OECD is looking in the future. What's next? You know what 2025 PISA is working on the innovative domain? Learning in the digital world. The next PISA will assess our student on learning in the digital world. That means PISA, OECD is looking at how well the student develop their learning skill, especially utilizing digital resources that happen around the world. Well, the next, after this 2025 PISA will be 2029. The innovative domain hasn't come out yet, but as a part of some of the committee, I already know what the next domain will be. I'm not going to tell you exactly, but it involves AI and data science. That's the most I can tell you. Okay, so we can see in the future, 15 years from now, that the key issue is learning in digital world, and then next, every student is supposed to know about data science and about AI, which will be very prominent in next year, because PISA next year will be all computerized. What does it mean when PISA is computerized? If you're familiar with PISA exam, you know that PISA is using critical thinking of the kids, the analytical capability. In the paper base, they present you with table and let you extract data from that table. Imagine what happened when it's going to computer. Instead of some small table, they can throw you a bunch of data. Analyze the data from that data set. Okay, if you're just looking at the small table, you don't have the ability to access the data from which it's huge the data set. You need special kind of skill, you need different kind of skill to look at the data, to evaluate those kind of data. So the skill will be differences. And from PISA, from OECD, and from our conference, it came out the same thing. The necessary skill for the student in the future is learning to learn. This is the necessary skill that our student or even ourselves need to have for the future. Ability to learn or lifelong learning. How to develop the capability of lifelong learning because everything is changed very, very fast. We need to learn new things. I was jokingly talking with my friend that there are different types of engineering. And when we talk about computer engineer, I'm saying that, computer engineer, it's something that changes every 6 months. Because the subject, the topic of, and the equipment has changed every 6 months. And a friend of mine who's AI saying, every week for AI. It's every week there's something new come out from the AI community. And it's progressed very amazingly. You can use AI for a whole lot of things. And that's the key issue on learning to learn. It's something which is important that we need to develop in the new generation, the younger generation, and even our generation, we still need to learn something new every day as well. Okay, so how can we develop those kind of skill, the learning skill in our younger generation, in our kids? Okay. Well, let me sell something from my organization also. This one is the work that we have done. We look at STEM education in 11 countries of Symposium. So we look at what each country is doing on the development of STEM education, how progress they have on STEM education development in their country. So we have come up with a report we call a landscape study of the current status of STEM education in all 11 countries. You can download using the QR code that I'm showing on the screen. So you will see of how each country work on the STEM education at this current period. And we see a lot of discrepancy in the STEM education. Many countries, many organizations still think about STEM as STEM. They look at science, they look at technology, they look at mathematics, they look at engineering separately. They try to teach the kid with science, they try to teach the kid with technology separately. Which it doesn't not much distinction from typical education that we have. The student learn content. So, and separate content on every subject. Well, do we need that in the future? The kids with the artificial intelligence on their hands, they can do anything, they can search all the contents, no need for the teacher to deliver the contents to them. The AI is better than the teacher. I usually just, sometimes I just feed the exam into AI, and they solve to me everything, even in the detail of how to come out with the result. So I don't need teacher on that. So we don't need the teacher to teach subject. But what we need the teacher is to guide the student to learn, to explore. That's the key function of the teacher. Teacher need to become facilitator of learning rather than deliver content, because content is easily to find. Okay, so the problem that we face is, first thing that I'm saying that the STEM is treated differently. So what we're looking at is how to develop the learning of the integrated STEM education. And one of the approach that we are using and what we think that it's very effective, it's on project-based learning, problem-based learning, which is quite effective in developing skill for the student, especially learning skill. Because when the student try to develop some kind of a project, which I would say that which under their interest, they have their own intellectual curiosity, which they need to nurture that intellectual curiosity. They need to come out with their effort to sustain those kind of intellectual curiosity and try to in order to finish their project. So we are looking at project-based learning, and another thing, it's on maker education as well, by building. Very simple thing that we have experiment. We try to do something with the cardboard and let the student working on the cardboard, making a cardboard suit. Well, but when you see this picture, there's interesting thing that we can see from here. Two things that I would like to mention. One thing, you can see not only the student, but all the parents are helping the student to learn. If you look at, I'm thinking back at the Chinese proverb every time that I saw this picture. It's the Chinese proverb saying that it takes a village to raise a child. The meaning of this is, in order to raise a student, not only school, not only teacher. We need an involvement of all the sector of the society. Parents is one of the key important thing for children's learning. So when we seeing that the development of this cardboard project, and we see a lot of involvement from the parents and the kid can sometimes have some idea of what they want to create, but the parent can help them in terms of, okay, let's do this, let's do that, and working together on that. And the second thing is, well, this is what we call the cardboard parade. We used to have electric parade earlier. If you went to Disneyland, at the very end of the day, there will be electric parade with the audience surrounding the area, and there will be Mickey Mouse and all the other characters dancing along, and people watching with lighting and sound on that. So that kind of electric parade is interesting. But I was thinking differently. Why all the day that we have watching all the character of the Disney performing, and at the end of the day, why are we still watching them? Why not let them watching us? We need to be the performer. We need to be the actor. So at the end of the day, you learn from everything and you show them what you have learned. Same thing, what we're doing is we want the kids to be the actor, to perform at the end of the day of what they have learned, the showcase. So we have the cardboard parade, let the student showcase their invention. And the kids are very proudly coming to the parade and show their invention, show their creativity. This is the event that we hosted early this year. It's called Maker Jam. I wasn't expect that much of the student participating, but we have 2 days. The first day we have about 70 students joining. The second day we have more than about 150, which very amazing in terms of how the kids like to explore, like to learn, like to showcase the project. And this is the impressive picture that we have got from all the kids. Some are very sophisticated and very creative. Some are simple, but this is the approach that they learn to do something, to make something, to do the hands-on experience on what they have in their imagination. and they were very happy to do so. What we can see from them, it's some kind of curiosity, the intellectual curiosity that they when they see the other invention, they want to know, they want to learn, and they enjoy to learn. Okay, so that's the important thing of playability in education. We need to, the problem with STEM education, project-based learning, that we have faced, going back to the report that we developed. The key thing that we found that the problem with project-based learning, it's the disconnection of the project and student interest, and the disconnection of the project with the local resources. Most of the time, the teacher will bring in learning material from abroad or from somewhere else. And they found that sometimes they cannot find some equipments that used to make that project. So how can they do that? And sometimes it's very remote for their interest, remote from their society. They don't really understand what is inside that project, what is inside that problem. So the key thing is localization. Project-based learning need to connect back to the student, to their interest, not making the student feel remote to those kind of problems. So a lot of places that we have seen, this one is from Cambodia, which we have seen the way they use local material to learn STEM education, to build toy, and to learn all kind of different kind of subjects. You can see from this, oh, okay, there's some formula in here also. You learn from developing toys, but you also put theory inside so the student can understand how they can develop those kind of material, those kind of toy, those kind of project with theory inside. But not only theories, as I mentioned earlier, data is the key. So in order to develop any advanced toy beyond what it's already conceived, you need to experiment with different ideas, experiment with the different methodology, and do data collection so you can analyze those kind of theory, those kind of data. What happened if you change certain parameter? What would be the output that came out? This thing might be difficult in our period, but for the kid, for this generation, well, there are a lot of tools for calculation, a lot of tools that they can consult with the AI tool that they have at hand. So we need to encourage the kid to sustain their intellectual curiosity and to develop their capability of their skill development also for the changing future. Let me check how much time. Okay, I still have. Okay, all right. Let me go next. Okay. Well, another project that we have found very, very interesting, it's the concept of rural school makerspace. When we talk about project-based learning, we talk about maker education, we usually think about makerspace. And makerspace mostly will contain sophisticated equipment, very advanced materials. Makerspace, when we think about makerspace, most people will talk about 3D printer. Okay, you think about, oh, okay, this is the additive manufacturing process. You have laser cut, you have 3D printer, you have all the iron machine, you have all the sophisticated equipment. But we need to come back and think about makerspace as learning space. Space that you can explore and working on your project. Because we emphasize on project-based learning, which would help on the creativity, on the critical thinking skill. So if we only think about makerspace with fancy equipment, with sophisticated equipment, makerspace cannot happen everywhere. We need to have makerspace everywhere for every kid to explore their curiosity, to sustain to exercise their creativity. So this is the concept of the rural school makerspace. It's very simple. You need to dedicate some space and some equipment that you can find locally and some project that you can do locally. This is the work of a Starfish Foundation in the northern part of Thailand. I think it in Chiang Rai and Chiang Mai. They developed a school makerspace for students to do project-based learning. So they have a studio, which is not sophisticated, don't have a lot of equipment, but studio for the student to exercise, to draw storyboard. That's fine. To practice presentation. That's sufficient for the student. You don't need to have a fancy studio with a green screen. So, but the important key is how to let the student practice communication, practice develop the creativity. So that the studio, that the necessity of the studio. What else? The food makerspace. Well, yeah, it's easier to do food makerspace in the rural school. Well, you can help feed the kid as well using those makerspace. They also have the cloth, apparel, art, storytelling, and the mechanic. All those kind of makerspace can be happen in rural school. So we can let the kids exercise their curiosity and explore and sustain their intellectual curiosity as well. Well, what Starfish does is not only they try to create rural school makerspace, the other interesting thing that link back to the previous picture that we saw, parents and kids working together on the cardboard project. Home makerspace. Learning happen everywhere, not only in school. Like I mentioned earlier, it takes the village to raise a child. So we cannot rely only in the school for the student to learn. Education is not only in school. How can we make our makerspace at home? Well, it's not difficult at all. You see the cardboard? Yes. Most of our Southeast Asian home doesn't have makerspace. We usually have entertaining space. we can spend our money on buying some fancy televisions or stereo set, but we are not investing on student education. We didn't dedicate special space for the kids to learn. Comparing to the Western world, they have garage. They have some equipment in the garage. That the learning space that they have to do the development of products and to exercise the creativity to fix things. So some dedicated spaces provided in their home. Sometimes it's just very simple. You don't see fancy equipment in their garage, but that's the place that they are conducting their learning, their exercising, their experimenting. So this is what is necessary in our home in Southeast Asia and in other places of the world. It's to provide dedicated space for students to learn, to exercise, to explore. So if that's not sufficient in the home, community can provide that area as well. So all the learning can happen in the region, in everywhere. So I think my office is in Ekamai area, and it's along the Sukhumvit Road. What I have seen is every year there are going to be a new construction of the department store. We see department store happen every year, a new one coming out. But we don't see museum. We don't see learning space happen. So what kind of society we are going to help developing our younger generation with all this? We encourage our kids to be a shopper. We don't encourage them to be a learner. We need to provide sufficient space for our younger generation to learn, because learning to learn is the key skill for the future. So I'm happy that NSM has the makerspace at the street Rachada. Okay, that's one of the good example of what we have in Thailand here in terms of the learning space for the younger generation. All right. So that's the key issue that first that you want to talk. Well, and the play is very simple. Students love to play. This is a couple of days ago that the Symposium is hosting the Sci Day, in the National Sci Day as well. We're building very simple car that moving along those kind of slope. And we can see a lot of creativity of the kids, see how they are entertaining, how they learn, utilize a very simple toy. Here, on the left-hand side, that's a simple thing. The approach that we conduct with Kasetsat University, because they have the building, the architecture department, they have the building with a long slope. So we are exercise with the kids by building the car so the car can run along the slope in the building. And we can see a lot of development, a lot of enjoyment from the student. Toy is very important for the student to learn. It's helped exercise their creativity, their critical thinking skill, and also to nurture the intellectual curiosity. Nurturing intellectual curiosity is very important concept. That otherwise we'll have a lot of dropout kids from school if we cannot entertain the intellectual curiosity. And well, I usually saying is the key is you need to find out what kind of intellectual curiosity that your kids have, what kind of thing that they are interested at that moment, and try to entertain that intellectual curiosity to the best. When I was a kid, I remember that I can recall the scientific name of all the dinosaurs, which right now I cannot do that. But when I was a kid, I was interested in dinosaurs. And I can remember, I can recognize the scientific name of every dinosaur that I know. So how come that kind of ability have lost over the time? Because I cannot exercise that, I cannot sustain those kind of intellectual curiosity with all the material that I have. And the society, all the education has pushed me a different way. So I cannot pursue my dream of being those paleontologists anymore. Okay, so this is the intellectual curiosity. When we develop, when we push, when we entertain the intellectual curiosity of the student to the max, the student will develop their ability. And those kind of ability can apply to different domains as well. You have the capability to do research. You have the capability to think, to have creative thinking, to have critical thinking on certain domain when you develop as a kid. When you change the domain to something new, another interest, you have those kind of faculty, you have those kind of ability that you can entertain, you can exercise. Well, I need to talk about culture also. We talk about toy, we talk about entertaining, and when we talk about culture education, Simeo, when I mentioned earlier, we are not only education, we're also science and culture as well. The way that we look at culture, it's a lot of things. When Simeo talk about cultural education, we talk about preservation and appreciation of heritage. In cooperation of cultural context and learning, we develop a lot of projects that let students learn about their heritage, about their historical context. And the other thing is promoting of the cultural diversity. This is another key thing that I'll touch upon later. Cultural expression, creativity, global citizenship, and cultural competence. Those are very important in terms of the cultural education. And what is important about culture is this. This is the tool that we develop for computational thinking. It's not related to culture, but I'll tell you later on why bringing this up. We want to teach computational thinking to the kids because computational thinking is very basic for artificial intelligence and for all the other subjects that related to calculation and computation also. So we found out that by teaching the student programming, it's not very effective. Students, sometimes they don't understand into a programming language. It's difficult, even though you use those kind of visual-based programming. You need to develop computational thinking skill first by letting the student connect those kind of thinking with the real world. Otherwise, they cannot apply the logic that developed during computational thinking to the situation in the real world. So we teach the kids computational thinking by using coloring activities. The kid loves to paint. So how can we transfer the activity of painting into the learning of computational thinking? Here, for example, we have the picture. We want the student to paint the desk green. Paint at least two blue balls in each box. So what the student will do is, first thing, they need to understand what at least means, right? The student can paint three ball, 4 ball, 5 ball, or paint all ball, or at least 2. But if they paint only 1 ball, that's not correct according to the instruction that we have. So, but the kids, the student need to understand the logic of the step that they need to do in order to finish this kind of instruction. Well, the next key thing is important. It's the next box here. So after they paint their own picture, they need to communicate with their peer. So their peer can paint exactly the same thing that the kids paint. That means when you paint, after you painted this one, you need to think step by step of how are you going to let your peer doing that. By thinking step by step, that's algorithm. That's the way the computer is. We need to feed the instruction to computer by step by step. So the student learn to think that they need to translate the way they think into communication language to tell the peer. And communication language is actually right now, it's the input of the AI. So now they develop the way they think and the way they communicate. So they have to think step by step. If the peer is come out with the result is different, well, that means you need to fix your instruction. Okay, so you need to rethink about your instruction once again. So you develop the way of thinking linearly as the computational thinking. This way, you don't need to learn programming language, but you need to learn the logic, the way to think step by step of what you need to do. And that can transfer to the AI, to the computer language later on if you want to write program. But you have the logic imprinted in your ability, in your brain. Also, not only the painting, all the other tasks available, such as this is how you going from one place to another place, and then calculate what is the total direction, which one is the way is faster. The other one is interesting also. This worksheet is also how can you identify as an elephant. If you notice, this is the classification, pattern recognition. This is how we teach AI to the younger generation. So the kid would say that in order to have an elephant, you need to have the tusk, you have the trunk, a big ear. Okay, what about this? Is this elephant? Well, what do you think? It has all the elements that you mentioned earlier. So the student need to think more of what kind of exception could happen. That's the way we teach this concept of artificial intelligence, concept of classification by not using the computer at all. This book is available free of charge on our website with the QR code, that you can download. I forgot to bring the actual copy to SSM. Next time, I won't forget it. I'll give to you. Okay. So you can use, this is the collaboration of Symposium Ed with University of Tsukuba in Japan and University of Chile in Chile, and also other CMO centers in Malaysia and in Indonesia as well. So we developed this to help. This is actually a guidebook for teacher. The workbook, we have different workbooks, so you can choose the exercise in the workbook to teach in your class. So very easy to use, very interesting, and Professor Roberto Aria from University of Chile, he used to be a rocket engineer. And after he retired, he focused on education. He bring a lot of he is the one who developed the picture coloring book, and a lot of concept of computerization has been developed into the coloring book. Very interesting one. You can download it from the QR code that we have provided. Okay, well, the key that link to culture, it's the second part here. It's communication, culture. It's the key component that helpful for communicate. It's a tool for storytelling. Without learning culture, you don't understand deeply how to build storytelling. And storytelling is very important in the future generation, and how you can communicate to others. I have some example. I think we have a lot of from different countries in this room. Okay. Well, I have a picture of a ghost, and I think some of you might recognize those kind of ghosts in your country. I heard the Dev Kasu in Thai. I think it in Cambodia. In Lao PDR it's called Kasu, but it's spelling differently. In Cambodia, this is what they write, and this might be Philippine. Kuyang is from Indonesia, if I'm not mistakenly. So we have the same ghost, interestingly. And you know how this ghost, what kind of thing that this ghost eat, right? It's happened to the same thing with other Southeast Asia country as well. We can talk a lot about similarity. We can talk a lot about the story, the historical context, that within this specialized ghost. This is the way that storytelling come into the part. Without culture, without tradition, we won't know how to communicate with each other, how similarity that we have. And we can dig deep. Every time that I brought this picture to a conversation, we have a lot of discussion that follow up afterward. Because you have something in common, some similarity that we can discuss, we can work together on that. So by embedding some part of the culture in education, it's very helpful in the communication process. Helpful in terms of understanding each other. And okay, I think my time is up now. So I'll end my presentation by leaving you with the cultural aspect, and that you can communicate with your peer and discussing all along on the theme of education and how to progress to the conference. Thank you so much.
Thank Thank you very much, Dr. Mon. And we've definitely learned a lot over the past several minutes of the talk. A very insightful discussion. But on this occasion, may I please ask you to remain on the stage, and would like to invite Dr. Kanika Chen, the Vice President of National Science Museum, to hand over a token of appreciation, please. Thank you very much, Dr. Kritchai Somsaman, Director of CMIL STEM Ed, for your keynote speech this morning. And now, up next, we'd like to have Dr. Kanika Chen, please, to give an overview of the 8th International Symposium on Science Festival. So I'll hand over this to you.
Good morning, everyone. Before everyone leave for a break, I think we have a short break before the next presentation. I'd like to give you a brief overview about this symposium, just to give you a context, of what we are doing during the past few years on the International Symposium on Science Festival. So, may I have the slide over, please? Well, actually, Okay. Well, the International Symposium on Science Festival, we start in 2017 as a platform for all of us, first in ASEAN, to kind of join together on sharing science engagement activities and create some networking. So from then on, okay, we have extended our, let's say, partnership not only among ASEAN countries and to ASEAN plus 3. So we have more participation from China, Japan, and Korea. And then later on, we have an honor to welcome, members from ASPAC countries, which is from Asia Pacific Network of Science and Technology Centers. And I think today we have some members of ASPAC coming join us as well. And since last year, we extend our participation from BRICSEC, which is a Belt and Road Initiative on science education. So I think this is a very nice platform for all of us to get to know each other. So I hope during the break, you can kind of mingle and get to know each other and learn from each other. Well, I think for the main objectives of the symposium, of course, is to build up a network and also to do the knowledge sharing. But most importantly is seeking for possibility to co-create, something useful and beneficial in terms of science education, informal science education. So this is an opportunity for all of us as well to co-create something new exhibition, new projects. Dr. Kritchai just mentioned something very interesting, on what we can do together. This is a quick idea of what we have done, in the past from 2017. Then 2018, we start to think about what's the sustainable development goal we should focus on in this region. And then for the next year, we have identified 3 goals that we should kind of focus on raising awareness, which is about water, it's about urbanization, and about life below water. So during that time, we share ideas of how, our ASEAN countries and ASEAN plus 3 can do on raising awareness on these 3 issues. And later on, we focus deeper into water, education, and then later on the citizen science. Okay, we continue to do something on citizen science for the second year. And then last year, we start to move on to the idea sharing on how science museum, science centers, and science engagement organization can help on climate and ecological crisis. Okay. Well, of course, this year is something different, maybe a little bit more uplifting. So it's going to be on toys, on cultural, and on STEM. So I hope that everyone will enjoy the session, for today. And some of us will continue tomorrow on the deeper activities as a workshop. Okay. And this is just to let you know that participants in this room, some from ASPAC members, some from BridgeSec, and of course we also have friends from ASEAN countries, under the network of science enculturation, from Laos, from Cambodia. So that's all for my overview, and I hope you enjoy the session today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kanikashan, for your overview of the symposium today. Now we will have go into a short break. So breaks just now. We will be returning here until 10:40, please. So that's around 15 to nearly 20 minutes break. So I'll see you again very shortly. Thank you once again. ready to resume our second session after break. So I hope everyone had some nice breaks, some nice coffee. I'm now all boosted up. So let's continue with our next.
Is different from what other people try to achieve. Plantoy has been established back in 1981, and with one of the vision and mission that we really want to see is how we could be able to build a better kids for a better world. The first company or the first business actually not from toys. Back like 30, 40 years ago, I think everyone may have known that in Thailand and especially in Southeast Asia, we believe in education where we want our kids to be very smart and very well educated. So we focus heavily in academic, right? But then we found that that's probably might not the right direction when you study about the Western philosophy or the way of learning. So you can see a lot of like different theory, right? Or different concept like Montessori, Waldorf. So the first business that we bring into Thailand, we think that how we could be able to change the way we teach our people. We really believe in play-based learning. So we set up a kindergarten called Rak Luk School, kindergarten, to try to teach and then change the way we want to teach our kids, especially for the kindergarten and preschool. It's very, very difficult because the difficulty is not how to teach the kids, but how you convince the parents to understand the uniqueness and the importance of learning through play. So we introduced the play-based and project-based learning, even though nowadays we don't have the school anymore, but we actually expand our school to be one of the first project-based learning school. The name is Rungarun School. So I think that's the way we try to come up with the way we want to build a better world. So the difference that we try to run our business, we really focus on two things, right? So to build a better world, I think is very important. And nowadays, I think there's a lot of like tools or philosophy how we could be able to follow. For example, sustainability is one of very, very like famous thing that everyone talking about right now. We have been doing this for 40 years, but we don't know what is called sustainable. However, when we understand and we know a little better, so we actually embed the way sustainability into our way of working and the way we run our business. I think among all the SDG goal, we accomplished nearly every aspect, but the most important aspect about like education, about the responsible consumption. That's very, very main focus. So from the concept of sustainability, we actually put into our business practice where we divide into 3 different areas. The first one we call it sustainable play. So in the last 5 years, we have been thinking and changing our direction, and then how we could be able to expand and then doing more business. So we actually have been turning the word toys. We have been producing toys for like 40 years. But I think toy become just one of the ecosystem of learning and play. So right now we try to transform ourselves from being a toy manufacturer to be people who create the play ecosystem. For example, we come up with the play space. So this is located in Trang, where our factory located. So we have the space for around 40, right? I think around like nearly 10 acres that we turn to be a learning space for the kids. And everything that you see here, we make every toys from the scrap. So when we drive around into the city, we see they trashing, like for example, this is the electric pole. So we asked for the government that, hey, could we be able to have it? And then we could be able to create all the toys. Or even you see this big elephant here is the steel scrap from our factory. So right now we have around 20 to 30,000 kids visit our Forest of Play every year. And especially for the Children's Day, that's one of the biggest events that we have. So we host up to 5,000 kids that visit our play space. And from that, it's actually like we try to encourage and then try to teach and then try to educate our parents in the area that you really need to be outdoor to be fun, and then so that you could be able to learn through play. And apart from that, we also come up with like a lot of activity, and one of the most exciting things that's gonna happen for next year, as the doctor said, that why don't Thailand build a new museum or the play space? We used to have it in Bangkok as well, but we have to move to the new location. So we are turning an old kindergarten school, a kindergarten, to be a forest of play in Bangkok. And that's gonna be a new destination for the family in Bangkok. So we moved the office to Jalern Krung, where it's close to the river. So we're gonna turn the old building, the old kindergarten, to be the play museum. So if everyone really want to see what it's gonna look like, so stay tuned on Facebook, like Forest of Play. So that's where we're gonna give you more information about. So as I mentioned, toys, that's what something we have been doing. And the second one, try to run out to be a good citizenship. We need to make sure that our business practice or the operation need to be very sustainable. It starts from the way how we pick the material, right? As a very sustainable company, we never cut any tree, even though we say that we making wooden toy. So what we have done, we actually recycle the rubber tree from the rubber industry, where in the past they actually have to cut it and burn it. So 40 years ago, we said that why you waste it, right? We could be able to create the value of it. So we are the first company in the world that reclaimed the rubber wood from the plantation and to design the toys. And we actually go beyond that. We come up with the new material called plant wood. As one of the aspects that we try to be more like sustainable, one of the area that you need to take care, right? If you know the concept of sustainability, you need to drive what they call it, the triple P, right? The first one is you have to drive your profit. Because if you don't have money, you cannot do anything. But it doesn't mean that you have to maximize your profit, right? And then the second thing is that you have to take care of the people and then also the planet. So this new innovation material is actually from the reason that we want to take care of our people better. Because if you're thinking about the work environment in the wood factory, there's a lot of sawdust from like cutting, sanding the wood. So we say that how we could be able to build this working area to be one of the most like comfortable for our staff, we actually invest and then put the vacuum machine in every single workstation. By the end of the day, we're actually paying 40% of the electric bill for that operation. So we actually have very high value waste where we could be able to sell to the, our neighbor for 1 baht per kilo. Then we actually put a lot of like innovation and idea until we come up with this material where we mix sawdust with the pigment, the color pigment, and then we use non-formaldehyde glue to form the new toy. And the most important is that we could be able to develop until this is waterproof. So we introduced a lot of like water toy that made from wood to in the industry. And not just only that, we also try to make sure that we also stay compliant. I think one of the most difficult thing in the toy industry is the regulation. There's a lot of good idea. There's a lot of like very traditional toys that could be able to bring into the market, but we as a business, we could not be able to do it. Like for example, you see a lot of good toy here, but when you send to the testing lab, because we need to get certified, right? There's a big standard like EN71 for European, ASCM for America. Is even more strict in Thailand because Thailand, we actually combine those two standards together. And we pick the highest one to be a Thai standard. So it's very, very complicated how we could be able to bring the good concept, like good toy, to be for commercial. So I think that's something also very, very important. There's still a lot of chemical that you not even know what chemical has been used in that paint. Or there's a new regulation right now about nitrosamine or like formaldehyde in the glue. So those standards are very, very strict. I think that's one of the very difficult things in the toy industry that we are facing right now as a manufacturer. And we also try to go beyond that, that we want to tell everyone that we are eco-friendly, we are sustainable. So I think we are the first company in the world that could be able to put the carbon emission on our product. So we know how many carbon has been produced to make that particular toy. And in order to do that, I think it's not enough just to be clean or to be green on your production, but we also need to take care of our society, our global as well. So we come up with a lot of differentiated activities right now. I think play is really important. We can see that we can play every day, right? And everyone needs to play. So not just only for the younger kids, but we also try to embed the play into everyone's stage of life. With that said, we actually come up with the other good activity where we actually design the toy for children with special needs. So this is the activity that we did like 30 years ago when we have our conference with our partner around the world. And we said that what would be a good contribution activity that we want to do together. So we actually working with 200 moms in Bangkok. Because mom who have to take care of their kids, they know the best what their kid needs. So at the end of the day, we actually come up with 3 different toys. The first one for autism, the second one for cerebral palsy, like with brain complication, and then the third one for the visual impaired. So we design the toy and then we produce close to 100,000 toys, and we give it away for free to this world, right? During that time, I was in the US, and I think it's gonna be too easy just to give away to a big organization. But to do that, we actually work through our retail partner to say that, oh, we have the toy, can you donate on our behalf to your local community? Actually, that's actually returned to be a very good investment that we put into donation. A lot of our retail partners said, oh, we are very interested in this type of toy because nowadays, right, kids born with autism. I think probably 1 in 5 kids born with autism. We are not talking about what happened after the pandemic, the way we teach, the way we raise our kids with the screen. They call it a fake autism. So this is becoming a very, very big issue for the early childhood education right now. So we actually has been focusing and then develop a lot of toy in that area. And then on top of that, with the changing in terms of demographic, we also think that, okay, what else that we could be able to use toy to be benefit for our generation? One of the area that we totally forgot is about elderly people, right? Thailand become an aged society already. So we develop and then we get the grant from the government to develop what we call a better aging. So we design a toy for elderly people. Because when you think, and that's actually gonna bring me to like the next slide. So apart from the way we try to be eco-friendly, one of the key area that when we design our toy, we really need to make sure that our toy is designed for child development. So if you go back in terms of the developmental skill, no matter what kids, adult or elderly people, these are the main 4 areas, right? Physical, social, emotion, intellectual, and language. So I think from these 4 areas, we actually found that in the elderly people, they also need the developmental on these 4 areas as well, exactly the same. But for the kids, how we could be able to make it better so that they can have the good developmental skill to be ready for STEM or STEAM, right? But then for the older generation, how we could be able to introduce and then create the toy so that it will delay those developmental, so that they still have a very good memory. I think Alzheimer is one of the most critical things right now because there's no medication. If you get it for life. So after we spent a couple years during the pandemic, develop this category. So right now we come up with a couple like good collection to introduce into that area. And in some country where we used to sell very good, especially in Nordic country, right now the toy for elderly market is become a very important category for us in those areas. So from those developmental skills, I think we are very, very dedicate our work into this. We have a full-time child specialist working with our design team to make sure that each particular product answer the value of each developmental, right? Like for example, especially for the younger one, when you develop the product, we need to make sure, like our kids, like the younger one, they cannot use finger. When they first born, they actually use their palm. So the way we design the baby toy, we need to make sure that the kids could be able to hold. They're not gonna hold the product like this. They hold it like this. So it's very, very important to understand the developmental, and we have been working with a lot of school and kindergarten to do a lot of product testing. And at our office, we actually have like what we call a Bible, right? We try to come back and revisit this all the time to see what else that we don't have it yet. And we need to make sure that we try to fulfill those toys that we are missing. So from that, I think not just only the main developmental skill, I think when the kids like grow up a little bit, so we also try to focus also on what they call like STEAM, right? I think it's very, very important, but I just want to let you know right now in the US market, we are not talking about just only STEAM. The new concept, we are talking about MESH, M-E-S-H, because I think it's good to be for building the kids for the new generation, for the 21st century or whatever. AI, technology, science is very, very important. But nowadays, there's also a big demand on how we could be able to raise our kids. And we also need to focus on what they call MESH, is mental, emotion, and social health. That's become a very, very big issue. I think if they are not well developed, right, as younger kids, when they become a good citizenship in the future, but if they don't have a good moral, if they don't know how to manage themselves, how to be in society, I think that's going to become a big issue for our generation as well. So I just want to give you a little bit of information on what we have done. Even though it's really, very difficult to teach science for the little one, like 3 years old, 2 years old, how you could be able to teach. I think the best thing is that we try to give them a basic or a general practice so that they could be able to understand. Like for example, this one is the weightlifting acrobat, right? If you remember and then have seen the traditional toy that you actually have to swing it like this, and then they have the little ball and the chicken like poking into the wooden plate. We use the similar idea, the similar concept, but adapt it into this, so that when you hand this and then you turn it, so the ball gonna swing, move around, and then it's gonna lift the dumbbell, right? You need to make sure that you know how much energy that you put, otherwise this little dumbbell is gonna go to the back. Or even like just some simple like fountain bowl cup set. This is so simple, but this is one of the best selling items for us, right? So the kids just like playing in water, they see what the movement look like, what the difference between these 3 little holes and 1 big hole. So we are here just to create the tools for the kids to learn and explore. And then in terms of our design concept or language, we try not to put too many details, too many things. We believe that kids are smarter than us. And there's a lot of like research have been done. We also did one in our office where we give like a piece of cloth to our designer and to our kids. The kids, they come up with more play way, how they can play with one little piece of fabric more than what the designer could be able to think. So like science, there's a lot of area that we could be able to teach our kids. Technology, I think a lot of people are talking about the AI is gonna become like a new thing for our generation. But then just to teach the kids about patterns, about coding, this is a basic of coding, right? On the back of this card, we actually give them the, okay, if you do like A, 2, C, 3, what picture that you're gonna see. So I think that's become a very, very important principle of learning technology in the future. We also have some like gear and engineering. So this one, we also add the value of like puzzle. So not just only like learning and understanding about the gear concept, but you also could be able to play as a puzzle as well. The next one about art, we have so many items, so many activity on like art. We have like Play-Doh, kids act in the past. So I think with the creativity, with the art area, I think there's a lot of way that we could be able to introduce to our kids. Last but not least, I think one of the very, very important area is mathematics. I think mathematics is one of the very, very basic. But to teach kids like to multiple, I think that's going to be very, very difficult. So what we're trying to do here, we actually study in Southeast Asia and also in Western country about the curriculum, how they teach mathematics. And at the end of the day, it's come into a very, very simple, right? We teach kids about sorting, about classification, about matching. So that's a very, very simple, basic learning skill that the kids really need to learn. You don't need to understand about like multiple yet, because you are not that age yet to understand the concept of multiple. And like for example, at our Rungarun school in kindergarten, we actually, you cannot expect your kids to be read and write. We don't teach them any academic, but we want to make sure that you have a good fine motor skill so that you could be able to write when you go up to like K1, right? So I think that's very, very important. So from the toys that we created here, it's just a very, very simple. But as the professor said this morning, that I think nowadays is become more important that how we actually educate our parents, how they could be able to play with their kids. And especially in Thai market environment, play is not a norm in the family, right? It's not like in Western that when you see each other, you play card game, you play board game. But in Thailand, we not really have like play as one of the activities that we do. When we design the toys for elderly market, and we did the research, and if we say that, okay, we're gonna ask you to play with our toy, they said, no, I'm not a kid, I don't play with toy. So I think people still have a misunderstanding about the value of play. So I think it's very, very important how we could be able to groom our generation to understand the value of play. And last things, I think, just want to remind that everyone, every day, we have to play. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much ขอบคุณโกศินทร์วีระพรสวรรค์ครับ And up next, I'd like to invite the next speaker. So for the next speaker, we will be having the director of the National Center for Public Awareness of Science under the National Science Museum of Thailand. I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Priyanut Kanhadilok ครับผม
Good morning, everyone and audience online. I am Priyanut Kanhadilok, Director of National Center for Public Awareness of Science at National Science Museum, Thailand. Today, from the topic STEAM and cultural education, I think the power of traditional toy is very big power. When I do the activity and the exhibition in NSM Thailand, we provide science, STEAM, and local wisdom with a traditional toy for our audience, for our visitor. In my hand, this is the first toy that I found in a science museum. I think maybe 20 years ago, the first toy that I found in the gallery in the science museum. It can move. Turn toward and backward. Not battery, no motor. I really interesting and surprising about the traditional toy in the science museum. And after that, I collect the toy. Okay, you can bring the table of the toy in here. This is 20 years ago. We collect the toy when I was young. You see? There is many toys when we collect more than 20 years ago. And after and then, okay, we collect from local people. Local people there let me know about the local wisdom, way of life, and how to make the toy from local people. We collect the toy from east part of Thailand. He is a special toy maker, expert toy maker in local area in northern Thailand. They bring us to the forest to find the wood and the resources to make the toy and learn how they think, they believe, and local wisdom about the toy. Okay, then. And we collect the toy in the science museum. Okay, next. This is a variety of traditional toy that we collect for the long time. It's made from bamboo, it's made from wood, coconut shell, paper, every toy is really interesting and surprise me. Okay, next slide. And after that, NSM, we develop the activity and the exhibition. We mean the traditional toy is made from natural materials and be created from imagination and creativity of local toy maker that I show you. And this traditional toy is generally inspired by nature, the environment, and surrounding resources to create the toy from the resource available. Traditional toy create from 3 components. Okay. The first one is the material. The material to make the traditional Thai wisdom is locally available natural resources near the house. For example, the bamboo. I have some bamboo. Bamboo is a lot of plant in Thailand. It's easy to find bamboo. We have many toys made from bamboo and some wood of the toy. I found this one is made from some wood in northern Thailand. It's animal on the view. Okay, and some is made from the product of coconut palm, coconut shell, something like this. I will show you later. And the seed. This is the African neem herb seeds. In Thai, it's called saba to make the top. Where is the top? Okay, this one. Everything can make the toy near your house, near your community, from the nature. Okay, and the second, to make the toy, the local people, let me know. The next one, next slide, is the true. They use some true, wicker work true, and wooden true to make the toy. For example, the knife, the saw, and so on. And the tree is very important, the idea and imagination to make the toy. It is combat, like a gymnastic man in my hand. This is a man to make a powder light. That is made from the imagination and idea is very important to make the toy. Okay. So, NSM, we collect the toy, many toy, and we try to do the activities for audience, for student, and the exhibition. So, we devised traditional toy into 10 types for learning of science, principle, and local wisdom. The first one is a spinning toy. It's like a top, inertia toy. Toy using spring, sound toys, force and motion toy, balancing toys, puzzle, gravity toys, mechanical toy is the depend on engineering, art and culture related toys is the art. Okay, I will show you this toy. This is spinning toy. Okay, spinning toy is the top. Mainly a spinning toy is the many tops, wooden top, the seat top. This toy allows students to learn about, back. Okay, create angular momentum and Newton theory about the force and motion, and children will learn how the spinning top spin and why they stop. And we allow them learn about the scientific. Okay, next. We have many kind of top that we collect from each part of Thailand. For example, the first one is the bamboo top that it can make sound, spin and make sound, and the corn top, and the wooden top and the seat top, many aspects of the top. Okay. The second one is a spinning toy. This one. Sorry, in India toy. In Thai is called ความเฉื่อย Inner toy, we have many aspects of the inner toy. We can explain when you pull the string and the string will turn back. Put the energy to the string and collect energy and make string turn backward. It's like you like a bicycle. When you ride a bicycle and you stop ride, but the bicycle continue move. That is inertia. Okay, it's very hard to understand physics in the university, but when you play with the toy, it's easy to understand inertia. Okay, this is many kind of inertia toy from many material. Some is made from coconut shell, some from the seed, sycamore, and some from bamboo. Is in many aspects that we collect in Thailand. Okay. And this one is a toy using spring. We have the two examples of the toy using spring. It's very popular. That one is the caterpillar paper toy. It's made from paper and the wooden wheel. And the second one, this is the coconut mouth toy. This toy is let students to learn about the energy, the potential energy and the kinetic energy when the elastic band inside the body of the coconut move. It can walk. Okay, tomorrow I will show you in our workshop. Okay. This is an example of the toy using spring. Not only paper, caterpillar paper toy, coconut shell, buffalo toy. We have buffalo jump and many aspects of coconut shell, mouse, and rabbit. Some is a beetle. From students in their imagination. In our activity, students have to make the toy by themselves and decorate the toy. And after that, they have to create their toy from the basic toy. Okay? And sound toy. This is very popular in Thailand. And our toy maker in Thailand, they really create sound toy. We have a lot of sound toy in here and in my collection. Okay, the first one is the cicada. Have you ever seen this one? Do you want to try? Okay, I need 4 volunteers. Okay, come on. 4 volunteers, help me. We have a time to play with the cicada. Okay, my friend, come. 4 volunteers. Okay. Oh. When I do the activity, okay, you sit. Yeah. Okay, and one. This is the biggest one. The middle. And okay, thank you. Okay. This is made from bamboo. It's the bigger one. It's the medium. Made from a bamboo. And this one, some from PVC is not like a traditional toy, but to compare the sound from a different material. And this one is made from clay. Do you want to listen to the sound of each toy? Are you ready? Yes. Okay, you start first. Okay. And the middle. Same or different? Depend on your singing. Okay. Try again. Okay, I will help you. Okay, you try again from PVC plastic. It's okay? One more. It's okay? The last one. What do you think? Which one is like a cicada insect? This one, or this one, or that one? Okay, children will compare. Thank you so much. Your face. Okay, I will provide you your toy. Okay, for you. And for you. Okay, thank you so much. Give a big hand for our volunteer. But they have to pay to compare and make by themselves from different material. Okay. Not only the cicada. Cicada in the nature is an insect. We will make a toy by the muscle. Okay. And the second one is frogs. Okay, have you ever played this one? It's my favorite. Okay, come on. From Philippines. Okay, give a big hand from Philippines. In Philippines, I have been Philippines. I saw this one in Philippines. We call this wooden frog. Yeah. Okay, we need to volunteer. You come together. Okay, this is the big one. For these students, not make this one is very difficult, but they have to pray and compare. This is a big one. And your friend from Philippines, I have a smaller one. When in the workshop of me, I have maybe 10 different signs of the wooden frog, bigger and the smaller one, to make a noise like the sound of music. Okay, do you want to listen the big one? Are you ready? Yes, okay. You have to put here, and and squat. The big one. You can dance and squat, okay. And smaller one. Something like this. I have maybe 10 different signs of wooden frog I collect. The big one is really big. You like it? Okay, thank you so much. I will provide you some souvenir later. I have only 2. And what is this? I have a lot of sound toy. What is this? Duck. What the sound of the duck? You can make the sound of the duck. What is it? Gup, gup. Gup, gup. Thank you from South Africa. What do you think? This is made from local people, like duck, like sound of animal. Okay, and I will show you this one. It's like a pipe burst. Have you ever seen in your country? Yeah, maybe in Philippines, in Iran, yeah. You can buy this one in the fair. Okay, we have Alun Museum in here, and they sell this toy. Okay, and the sound toy. We have many kinds of sound toy to learn about sound and resonance. The resonance, the frequency. Okay, then and this toy relate to the musician instrument in daily life. For example, the drum and the instrument. music instrument. Okay. And this one is a force and motion toy. This toy, we have this one. Have you ever seen? We talk about the lifting force. In your country, do you have this one? It's a copter, bamboo copter. In China, you have this one. Yeah, in Philippines too. Okay, when you pray, I think some of you have ever prayed of this. This one talk about the force. Children have to make by themselves to cut the bamboo and design. Okay, and some of them can fly far away. This is made from this one and bamboo copter together to be this one. It's like a flying rotator on the screen. Okay, I will show you how to play it. Give a big hand for me. Thank you so much. Today, I will show some toy for you to enjoy and know the principle of each toy. Okay. Then, the lifting force is let children learn about the propeller of the helicopter, the lift force. Okay, after they pray, they make, and I learn about, okay, relate to their daily life. Okay, then, not only the helicopter, bamboo helicopter, we have a wheel toy. We have many wheel toys for children to play, just only play, learn about the wheel and the kite, about the lift force, and toy move from the pressure, like a cylinder is like a gun. Okay, maybe in Philippines, Iran maybe have this one. Okay, and the sixth, that is the puzzle. The puzzle is made from bamboo. It's very easy. Not easy, but it's challenge. That on the screen is called, in Thai is a Paya Lim Lang. And in English it means forget dinner game. What is this? It's very hard. The challenge of this puzzle, you have to take the string out of the frame and then turn it back. Okay, you have to solve the problem, how to make the string out, thing like this, until you get it out. It's very challenging for adult and teenager, but maybe some children maybe is worrying, oh, I can't do that. But for you, adult, it's very challenging. Okay, I have two example of puzzle toy. Okay, the next one is in Thailand it's called Paya Lim Ngai. It means forget breakfast game. This game is when you play with it, you will sorry in Thai, you will forget everything until the puzzle is finished. Okay. This one is like a forget breakfast game. You have to move the ball from each side to this side and turn back again. Maybe it's a puzzle in Philippines. We have this. Okay. This is a gravity toy. This toy, this one, is will let children learn about the gravity toy. The gravity, we provide the birds in the sting, this one, and put the bird out. like this. They will learn about the gravity and the friction of the mouth of the bird and the sting. Okay. It's a physics. The first one to the second one, all is a physics. It's very difficult to understand. But when children, they make the toy by themselves, they will learn about physics easily. Okay, this is a gravity toy. Okay. We have to tie up the gravity toy, a swimming fish and flying bird. Children, they have to make a bird from the palm leaf and make the body. Okay. And the next one is the balancing toy. The balancing toy, children have to make the bamboo and cut and do the body of, what is this? What is it? Dragonfly. They have a mouth really point. Okay. This is the balancing. It's the physics again. This is the pole. Okay. I need some volunteer to help me. Okay, one more. One volunteer. Okay. Two volunteer. Okay, one. This is the pole. And children have to make the bamboo dragonfly and put, okay, you put by yourself. You try. Okay, no. Okay, okay. When children, they make it balance. This is the funcom. The dragonfly will fly. Okay, thank you so much. You can getting it. Maybe. Okay, this one. A big one. That one, I have only one. Okay, thank you so much. And the pole together. Okay, thank you so much. I think traditional toy is very interesting and provide learning about a lot of science, physics. Okay, the next one, and the bird, bamboo. Okay, next slide. Next slide is a mechanical toy. Not science, but it's like an engineer. This kind of toy is can move. You need to be a volunteer. Okay, my help. Kun Bang help me, no? It's like a gymnastic man. In Philippines, what do you call? Kayo sealer. It's like a gymnastic man and a bar. When you play with this toy, you have to turn around the pole, and gymnastic man will make a something like this. Thank you. Children, they have to make this by themselves and create the gymnastic man from their imagination and construct the toy together and learn how it's work, it's not work. Okay, and some of them is like the man with a light powder. Do you have this one? Do you have this one? It's the imagination and creativity from toy maker of Thailand. It's like a occupation. Okay. And one is a carpenter. You have to move the bamboo stick here, and the carpenter will saw the wood. And that one is light powder and some kind of fishing tap to learn about the occupation in their community. Okay. We have only 10 kind of traditional toy. And some toy is not really science, but it's art. It's art and culture related toy. This is a wooden toy for children to learn about will, assist, and help they learn about the movement. This is for a small children, okay, and learn about the animal. Okay, next slide. Learn about the animal, the nature, and ecology. We have many aspects of the art toy, the frog. Okay. Okay. At last, why traditional toy that we should to do the activity in the science museum and the exhibition. Now, we have many activity about traditional toy for children to learn. Especially they have to make by themselves, construct, and learn how to play because it represents imagination, creativity, reflect culture, way of life. And it's a tool for learning about science, STEAM, and local wisdom together. For example, culture, occupation, way of life. It's easy to make from their local resources and material, and low budget to make when compared with as a toy, and eco-friendly. Okay. In NST Fair, we have the exhibition and activity about traditional toy on the back of the hall. Yeah, we call automata toy that developed from the mechanical toy. And we have the exhibition about traditional toy. We call Pern Thai toy for my t-shirt. It's ready to traveling to your country. It's very big. It's about 200 square meter about traditional Thai toy. Okay, next slide. And tomorrow, I will show you the workshop. Tomorrow, I will have a workshop about traditional Thai toy for STEAM +1. +1, learning at a science museum. +1 is local wisdom. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for today. See you tomorrow in my workshop. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Thiernet, for your very interactive session. And last but not least, I would like to invite our final speaker for today's session. So I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Thanakorn Palachai, Science Communication Specialist. So Kun Thanakorn is a science communication specialist with a Royal Award for Lifelong Commitment to Excellence in Communication of Science in Scotland. And he is a former vice president of the National Science Museum in Thailand as well, and has been giving a lot of experiences and expertise in managing science learning centers, communicating science to promoting STEM education. He is also now a consultant to the NSM Thailand as well. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me, for introducing me. And thank you for NSM to invite me to share my perception about STEM. I start with the very stupid question. Why STEM? We talked about STEM this morning. We talked about STEAM this morning, and maybe you understand how important of STEM. But I have to ask you a question again, why? And if you don't know, you ask, and you will be fooled for a moment. And after that, you will be rich for the rest of life. You understand? You ask and you understand, and you will be rich for the rest of life. If you don't know, you ask. Don't worry, don't hesitate, anything. Okay, another question. I am going to start how long STEM was introduced to your countries? How long STEM was introduced to your country? Many centuries, okay? STEM education in Thailand, how long? How long you heard about STEM? How long you are in Singapore? How long? STEM in China? How long STEM, the word STEM, was introduced in your countries? I think for Thailand, the first handbook publishing in the year 2015. That is about not more than 10 years ago. It's very young. It's very young. Why? Why we talking about STEM? What about in Philippines? How long? STEM is about how many years? Around 10 years, right? It's the same as Thailand. The same. It's young. What happened? What happened? We introduced new words in our education. What happened about science? Anything changed about science? Anything changed? The law of motion of Newton is what changed? No. How many law of motion in Philippines? I don't know. I cannot remember. Only 3, right? 3 law of motion. In Thailand, how many? The same. 3 law of motion. Nothing changed. Nothing changed. The first law of thermodynamics, is what changed? No. I don't know because I forgot everything. Because I forgot everything. Nothing changed. And what about mathematics? What about mathematics? Anything changed about mathematics? 2 plus 2. What number of 2 plus 2 in Philippines? 4. What number 2 plus 2 in Thailand? 4. The same 4. What number of 2 multiplied by 2 in Philippines? In Philippines? 4, right? 4. In Iran? 5. Oh, okay. It's changed. It's changed. It's already changed. How many 2, power 2 in Indonesia? 6. 6. 4, that's 4. And how many 3, power 2, 3, power 2 in Philippines? 2, power, 3, power 2. Not 4, not 6, not 6, 9. It's the same. Everything is still. Why we're talking about STEM? New words, right? You heard about technology long times. Okay, you look around this room. Did you find anything? Did you find anything come from the nature around us? Did you find anything? Anything come from nature? From nature around you? Air? Air. My friend says air. Toy. Okay? This happened by nature? Material, only material come from nature, right? Only material. Everything around us is not come from nature. It's the human made. Yeah, human made everything. And why human made? We're living with human made, not we're living with nature. We have a chair, we have a table, we have everything. Why human make it? Why? For easier, for comfort, right? And to solve the problem, you cannot sit for a long time on the floor. So that's why they made a chair. They made a chair. You cannot ride on the floor every time. So you need table. That people, that human, they make things for solve their problem or achieve their need. So we are living with the human made that we call technology. Human made technology to solve the problem or to achieve the need. So everything is a technology. This is technology? Yes, of course. It's not only computer, it's not a mobile phone. Your shoe is also technology because that is human made. So human made, it was changed. Every time we talk about changing, human made things for better, and better. We have telephone, home telephone, mobile telephone, and then super telephone. And we will have next one in the future. We will have next one in the future because the best, they have to solve the problem. They have to solve the problem. They're thinking about the problem. They're thinking about what they call pain points. Pain point of the person. Pain point, when you use the tool, you use everything, you have pain points. And then human think about how to solve pain point. That is changing of technology. Because technology was change every time. And another thing we talk about many times with Dr. Mon, Dr. Mon, talking about the changing. So our society is changed. We change from hunting society to agriculture society to industrial society, and now we are being on digital society. To look back, okay, I'm from baby boomer generation. So I'm living in rural. Most of 100 years ago, 80 years ago, the parents and kids and the children, they work together in farm. They work together in the farm. And they solve the problem by themselves. They learn from their parents. They learn to make toy from the material, whatever they find around them. And they create, and they play. And then sometimes they have a community, children community. They play together. They create the rule to play together. That is the previous, our society. And now, our parents, they work in the office. They work time. They have really limited of time to play with the kid. And then the generation what changed from baby boomer. The rural, they can create, they do, they can create, they can imagine. And now, our children, they play with mobile phone. That they lack of imagination, they lack of creativity, problem solving. That we need for the young generation, new generation, to be in the future society. If we have the generation only mobile phone, how they survive? How they survive in the next generation? They have no society, no social function. That is a problem we're facing. That's why we're talking about STEM. We're talking about learning, problem solving. We're talking about creativities. We bring it back. We have before. In the past, we have it. We got it. We do it. We did it. But now, it fades out because our society what changed. So when you are organize the activity for the kid, you let them do something. Let them do something, creating something. And then ask them, what did you do during your development? I had a workshop with the teacher more than 100 times. I asked this question, and the answer coming the same. What did they do during their development? They design, they planning, they creating, they testing, they improving. That is the worst they did during their development. What is it? What is the worst? The word is engineering design process. That is very, very, very common. Very common. Everyone got it. Everyone have it. But we have no chance to practice, to experience. You can see the same. Don't talking about engineering design process before they create by themselves. If you're talking about engineering design process, it's about design, planning, creating. That is the knowledge. It's not experience. They have to do by themselves. And then you dig it up. Ask them, what did you do during your working in the group? Okay? For the engineering design process, you can find in different words, in different process. Many, but the idea is design, creating, improving, testing, and endless process. Engineering design process, endless process, because they have to do better and better. So you can find in Google, you type Google, engineering design process, DEP, and then they coming up many process. That it not in the process. Yeah, I don't know why. You can answer yourself. Yeah. In the process, no business, because they starting with the goal, what they are going to create first. If they success, the process, they got what they got. They got technology. Technology is just the beginning. Maybe like an invention. They invent something. Something invent and valuable, they can go to the market. So that is arts and marketing skill coming, put in the technologies. You take a look in your pen, many color. Why do we have different color in pen? Many color they sell. Because maybe you like red, maybe you like blue, maybe you like green. We have to think, they have to think that it art, right? That it art. It's coming later. They found, they invest, they discover the technology. So if the kid, everyone do engineering design process and create something. They create something that we call the person is the engineer. So everyone can be engineer. Yourself, everyone. If you do the process, engineering design process, you are engineer. Engineer is not start in our era. It come from Stone Age. The Stone Age, they make the tool to solve their problem by stone. That is technology. Stone Age is technology. From the mental age. Okay, they made from material is mental. That is the engineer. That is technology. That's why I said technology is not only electricity. Everything human made to solve their problem or to meet their need. So everyone can be. They talk about garage. Do the two brothers of bride families, did they study in university? MIT? No. They learn only secondary school. And they can create, they can change the world. They can change the world. They test, improve, think, design, test, improve, investigate, get information. And then they can change the world. The same as Thomas Alva Edison. Did they learn in school? They study in school? No. They learn homeschool, and they try, they create, they try to improve, time by time, many times, and then they got and changed the world from the oil lamp to electric lamp. They changed the road transportation to air transportation. That's the new. That is the invention. So back to the principle. Newton, Galileo, Faraday, they discover, right? They discover and put the knowledge in the world. In our world, knowledge is in the world, in the wall. Depend on you. to pull it off and then create the new thing. What you imagine. So science, technology, and another subject, different subject, you learn, you study. Any information you have, and you create. That is science, mathematics, and that one, to create new thing or to solve your problem. So engineering is the process to develop solution to problem. So engineering skill, that's why it's quite important. But it's not engineer, because everyone are engineer. You are engineer, you can be engineer, everyone. So this is STEM. You have science knowledge, you have mathematics knowledge and different subject, and put in engineering design process to integrate every knowledge, and then to create technology. So science, mathematics is still important. Every knowledge still important. But we need the young generation, they can create something new. That is our world. During you are doing the engineering design process, they will understand how important of science and mathematics and other. Science is relevant. Mathematics is relevant, not only score. So science and mathematics become important for them. They learn science and they know how to apply their knowledge. Because engineering is apply the knowledge by integration. The engineer, you have to work as a team. It's not science. Science, they have a passion, they do research, and they discover something, and they got Nobel Prize, Nobel laureate. Most of Nobel laureate is the person, right? Individual. But for the engineering to create, to develop new technology, they need a team. You are only mechanical engineer, you cannot create EV, right? You need mechanical engineer. You need computer engineer. You need scientists. You need different discipline. So engineering is combined with what we call multi-discipline. So teamwork is very important. If teamwork is very important, communication skill is also very, very important. You work together, you have to listen the idea from the another. It's different from your perception. That's why we're talking about STEM, because in the future, our children, our young generation, they have to work with the different discipline to create new thing, to solve the problem. So scientists, they do research and they discover. But engineer, they create with multi-discipline. That's why you ask me why have a no business. That is my answer. Yeah. Yeah. I can answer you immediately. And they have to work with different person, right? They have to appreciate the difference. Different idea. It not say, oh no, that idea is not good. No, you have to pick up every idea and create. That is the skill for the next society, future society. That's very important. That's why we're talking about STEM now, because it's the power of change. They can save our life, can save to do better life. Engineering can save us, also can save our planet. Now we are facing with the pollution. We have a pollution. Maybe we have that water problem in the future. So engineering design process, maybe next generation they can solve that problem for the better our planet. We hope we sharing them work for new thing to cover our better planet. For efficiency, easier, that you say. Cheaper, faster, stronger is the new thing coming in the future. That again. Yeah, again and again. Yeah. That is engineering. Because never endless process. We need better. This is my answer. Why STEM? Because the best never happen. The best never happen. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Thanakon. And on this occasion, I'd like to invite the Vice President of the National Science Museum, Thailand, Dr. Kanika, to hand over the token of appreciation to our guest speaker for this morning sessions, please. So may I also please kindly invite Kun Gosin, Managing Director of Plantoy, please. And up next, I would like to invite Dr. Piro, Director for the National Center for Public Awareness of Science from the National Science Museum, Thailand, and Mr. Thanakon, please, to receive the token of appreciation from Dr. Kanika. And for participants joining here with me today, both online and on-site, we will be having a short lunch break. So our lunch break is 1 hour, so we will be coming back here at around 1:20 o'clock. So for those joining us on-site, in order for you to collect the lunch will be served at the Amber Room number 2. So please do collect the lunch coupon with the NSM staff in front of the room on your way out, please. And we will be seeing you soon later this afternoon. Thank you very much for joining me. Thanks. Thank you very much, Dr. Kanika, for handing over the token of appreciation. And once again, for those joining us on site, please make sure to collect your lunch coupon with the National Science Museum colleagues at the front of the door. they will be leading you to the Amber Room number 2 for your lunch. And we will see you again later this afternoon at 1:20.